EA Sports, within the game. He tucked that ball away, lowered his head, and boom, end zone.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cyrus block, young buck holding the like we knew it all, not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, to look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbillies. Q-Bone staying with the lick. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, give me throw your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border.
So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, let the sound system, now turn it up, a little louder, turn it up, a little louder, turn it up. We never turn it down, universal sound. When we move the pound, take a look around. When we touch the town, not the way, stomping in my big black J's. Corny, get stuck in the maze. We never suffer fools, had enough of you. False friends and loose ends make me wanna fool. That we got another world tour, touching every shore, from Cali to Singapore.
Every day I'm seeing more in the temple as we rock up tempo instrumentals. I saw my dream in a dream, then I woke up. Put the dream team together, now we one time.
So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the state of Florida and TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The punter Logan Cook set to start the proceedings, and we are underway here in Jacksonville. Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5. He will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Taken at the goal line. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. First and 10. Lawrence looking to pass on the first play. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
He targets Ingram for another grab. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Lawrence will throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. He'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for him.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible. Now has him within throwing range of a first down.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Jags come up empty on fourth down. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. And now with the play clock getting down, Kevin Stefanski going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. One up to about the 39 here. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 56 yards. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. A gutsy call, 4th and short. They go for it. Look at the result.
Yeah, not only did they go for it, they threw for it, because to me it was stacked up for a run situation, strength on strength, and they decided to put the ball in the air, and what a result. Big-time play.
New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Lawrence. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now Lawrence. They'll roll him out. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to give it to Ridley. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
And he'll get nothing there. Stop. Line as that will wind us down to the end of this 1st quarter of play. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Take it in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's Lawrence to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. That almost but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down. 4th down. Here's Lawrence sliding out of the pocket. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a 1st down himself.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this 1st half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson finding Amari Cooper. And the Browns continue to pull away here in this first half. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. They go with the option on the 2-point try, and the decision to pitch it worked out.
Almost felt like basketball, didn't it? Remember the dribbler, draw, drive, and dish? How about that one? Drew everyone to him, dished it to the running back. He takes it in.
And he returns this to the 22. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. Flush to his right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Ready, set.
Here's Lawrence. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Again, it's Lawrence. He'll buy some time right. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Touchdown! Zay Jones, 32 yards. And the Jaguars get a bit closer.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Browns drive about to get started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Swings this out for Hunt. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here we go on 4th. Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He's got a man, complete. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Browns would extend their lead here just before halftime. Now with that, they could elect to take the ball at the 1 if they wanted.
Yeah, exactly right. They have options here. If they decide now to go for 2 after the penalty, the ball doesn't go to the 2-yard line as normal. They get the penalty, so that's half the distance. You put it at the 1. But if they decided they wanted to kick, they would just move the ball from the 15 to the 10, and they would kick it there.
And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things, and it won't come back and hurt them later.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Oh, they try a lateral on the return, and now the ball's loose. And the Jaguars are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at the 50-yard line.
And they run run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8. Now Lawrence. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 38-yard line. Now Lawrence to throw. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Now Lawrence on 1st down. Touchdown Jaguars. Evan Ingram, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the 2nd half.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Rolling to his right. And he'll get in, and they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they were terrific in the 1st half, built up a sizable lead. It's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Cooper will come in motion right. Eluding, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush. Third and long, it's Watson. Under pressure, they got him again. Devon Hamilton, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Hey, exit.
On third down, Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 2nd and 5 from the 8. Back to throw. Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Calvin Ridley from 8 yards out. And the Jaguars have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Lawrence going to look to throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll go option to the short side. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. They'll try the air now with Watson. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. Here's Chubb on the read option. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Here's Chubb on the read option. Push it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Watson going to try and run it. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Now the option play works on the 2-point try. What'd you think of the call?
I like the call. What you're worried about, though, is if the defense blitzes the play. And if they do, what your answer is, the option. Why? If they blitz it, the quarterback has a chance to get rid of it to a trailing back. That one worked pretty well there.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Another try after the 1st down sack. Lawrence. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. John Johnson with the INT. And the Browns are going to get it back here just past the 35. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing now, Watson. That's complete to Bell over the middle. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all, haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Here's Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.